Hi, this is Val Carolin. I'm the new Regional Vice President and General Manager here at Salem Media Atlanta. I wanted to take just a moment and introduce myself to you, and as well to say thank you for all that you do for our community. Your service and your love of God and spreading the word of Jesus to our listeners and to the entire community is of incredible value and importance, especially during these times of change in our local environment, in our nation, and in the world. So thank you. And I look forward to meeting you in the not too distant future at one of our events that we hold here throughout the year. Recently, I joined Rick and Dan at FaithTalk Live, and I'd like to share that, at least a piece of that interview I had with them, with you now, if you give us a few moments to do so. Thanks again very much. If I could ever be of help to you, please contact me, Val Carolin at Salem Media Atlanta. Thank you.
Good morning. Wake up and smell the coffee with Rick and Dan on Faith Talk Live. Brought to you by Phoenix Roasters.
Love it. It is the Monday edition of Faith Talk Live. I am Rick Brooks.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe. Happy Monday.
This guy is a legend to the left of me. Look out. It is our... Now he's chuckling. What are you chucking about?
He's already laughing about it.
This is a big deal now. You're in the studio with us.
Ain't no legend here, baby. No way.
Val Carolin is here, and Val just came in. How long have you been here now? You are. Let me give you your title first. First of all, you're the Regional VP, General Manager, Salem Media Group. Can you fit all that on a card?
That is a long title.
Yeah, I got to use a lot of
small.
Do you have a card on
small
you?
Print. I never carry a card. I'm only in the sales business.
You're like us. You're like Dan and I. They make cards for us. And then
I hardly ever. I use them to try to get free lunches at places. I just stick them in the thing.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's
I like
what
that.
he does.
I like that.
Anyway,
Good move.
We got you from South Carolina, from Greenville, which I was born in Greenville. It's a great city.
I did not know
right?
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And we were talking earlier. You did some time in Chicago. Some great.
Did some time.
Which well.
Chicago Bang Bang.
Yeah.
I guess I won't be on the show tomorrow. This is the last Rick.
This is all the
Rick and
stuff
Dan
that
show.
Phyllis gave you, right? It's all Phyllis's fault.
Yeah, this is all
if it's
Phyllis,
wrong,
our HR. Anyway, but you have been in broadcasting on one end or the other, general sales and president since 1990, and now you're here in Atlanta. How does it feel? Well, you've been here before because you went to UGA, didn't you?
Yes. I came out of Georgia with a degree in broadcasting, and broadcast management, and all. So, been in this industry for a long time, and mostly in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I started here in Atlanta in the 80s. Let me put it that way.
In the 80s.
Wow. In the 80s. And then to Chicago. I was with CBS a long time, so I transferred from here up to Chicago with CBS, and then back with CBS, and then moved around a bit here in town. And then I was so fortunate to join Salem just 2 years ago and leave Atlanta to go up to Greenville to our stations that we had purchased about 5 years earlier.
Yeah.
And had a great run there.
Nice cluster up there.
It's great bunch. And you know what the best part about that is, you may know you're from there, are the people in Greenville and in South Carolina were just the best to work with, and it really revitalized my faith in what we do and the importance we have in our community. And it was just a great run, and I did not expect to come back here to Atlanta. I thought we were done in Atlanta. And fortunately, we were able to come right back and with this wonderful company.
Now, you and your wife and your kids, you all from the South, or?
Yeah, my beautiful wife was born lived just about a half mile from here, from our studios.
Really?
Raised right here in the house that her mother was born in.
Wow.
Several years back. So it's been in the family a long time, and deep Atlanta roots. And both my children, though they were born in Chicago, they certainly consider themselves Georgians. Been here since very early age.
Now, your kids are younger, aren't they? If I remember, they're not in college or high school.
Yeah.
Are they in college?
I have one in Athens and one in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, you do? I thought
Yes,
they were
I did.
younger than that.
Well,
in Tuscaloosa and one in Athens?
Yeah.
So
What
when
happened
Georgia
there?
and Alabama play, who do you root for?
Well, we roll dogs in my house.
You roll dogs.
If you go into Val's office, in which you're going to be going in the office after the show, by the way, I just want to let you. There is Bulldog memorabilia in there.
But no Roll Tide memorabilia.
Yeah. What about
No.
those dogs this year and last year, huh? Are they crushing it or what?
They're awesome. The dogs are great, man. No, we're loving it. It's fun. It's fun to be a Georgia Bulldog.
You guys, what do you guys do for chill time? You and your family, you probably, watch dogs and, what's the small team from Alabama, those guys. So what do you do for chill time, you and your wife?
It is a lot of football. It's funny. It's just started this weekend, and we're already into it. So it's so fun. We have been lately. What we do at chill time is taking care of in-laws. That's been our issue
really?
the last while. Yes.
Yeah.
But we what we want to get back to is traveling. That's a big thing for us.
Yeah.
We'd love to do together is to travel and experience. We always do best when we're experiencing new things together.
You and your wife, you love to travel. What's the place you've never been and you want to go?
No, we have this conversation all the time. Besides, I always want to go to Peru. That's where I want to go
Really?
next. That's me personally, but we have a pretty long list of places we want to go and things we want to experience.
Is she good for Peru? Is she all right? Is that on her bucket list number one?
I think she has Spain next on her list. But, personally, but
so
which
y'all
is
will be going to
awesome,
Spain
too.
next, and then Peru.
You guys are brilliant.
Yes, we are.
Well,
Thank God the boss said we're brilliant. I think we're staying.
You know how it rolls. That's great.
VP of Salem Media Group here, Regional VP and General Manager Val Carolin here, and we love having him here. Let's talk a little bit about broadcasting. Broadcasting has changed over the years. I'm an old guy. I got in the late 70s, early 80s,
Right.
and it was all radio. Radio has changed.
Yeah.
Now it is multimedia.
Yes.
We're on Facebook
Right.
Live. We're on camera.
Absolutely.
We've got podcasts. We've got Studio One here. How do you see all that just growing? Our amazing, Teaching Talks ministries that we have here. I mean, it's all kind of working together. It's explosive. It's exciting. It's a little scary for an old radio guy, but it's cool. What do you think?
Well, I think radio has been so resilient, right? It was what was taking down radio back in the day. The movies were taking down radio. Then TV was taking down radio. Then cable was taking down radio.
Right.
Then satellite was taking down radio. Then now it's, podcasting is going to take down radio. The great thing about radio is I think radio has understood and learned over the years that we are not in the radio business. We're in the communications business, right? So this is one way that we can use, one tactic we can use to communicate, but we always find new avenues, right? It used to be back in the 20s and 30s, there were 15-minute radio shows they used to do. They had to change and build other kinds of programming. FM was sitting there dormant until they figured out how to make FM really viable. And I think we see the same thing now, and I think us being able to incorporate other platforms along as these cameras right here are rolling, to reach out and communicate in different and not just better but other ways. I believe radio is the most intimate of all media. We are typically talking to an individual alone, either in their car or at home or wherever they may be, and we have the ability to develop relationships that are so unique, that are just different than even if you're looking at a screen, lying in bed looking at your screen watching a podcast or a video cast. There's something about being in that car or that environment, spending time with that individual or individuals on the radio, one-on-one. That's very unique. And I think we can continue to build on that.
Yeah.
I
Now,
love
you started your radio career, you said, here in Atlanta in the 80s?
Well, Athens and then Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how have you seen the Atlanta radio landscape change over the last 30 years or so?
It used to be very easy.
Really? Yeah.
There were about 8, 9, 10, 12 signals in all of town, right?
Yeah.
It was the most
Yeah.
under-radioed market in the nation almost, I think, here in Minneapolis. And just a lot of new signals came in, and a lot of new stations came in, and when the Telecom Act of '96 changed and everything started changing and ownership laws changed, it just got more and more competitive.
Yeah.
And it's meanwhile the marketplace was growing incredibly, right? I remember reading an article in Forbes or Fortune back around 1999 or 2000 or so, where I couldn't believe the quote. It said, "Nowhere in the history of civilization have more people moved to one area of the world than have moved to Atlanta, Georgia in the last 10 years."
Yeah. It's crazy.
And it was something like in the 90s, I could be wrong here, fact check me on this, but something like 1 million people moved here, like in a 10-year period.
No doubt.
It was crazy.
Right.
And so at that time, we were exploding and everything was just going great. And it just got, it just gets more challenging as more opportunities come in and more radio, more TV, more cable, more interactive opportunities come out. So we just we keep getting better. I think the competition from other broadcast vehicles and from other media sources make us better. I think we hone our craft and become better at what we do.
Val Carolin is the regional VP and general manager here at Salem Media Group. And gosh, you've been here, what, about 3 weeks to a month?
About 3 weeks, not quite a month. Correct.
You're all moved in and back here in the old stomping grounds. We're glad to have you. We are a Faith Talk station, and I know that faith is important to you.
Absolutely.
Who's inspired you faith-wise, do you think? An individual or individuals that's inspired you over the years?
Well, it all goes back to my mom. Mm-hmm. It really does. And the people have built on that. But as I mature, as I grew up, I started understanding what she gave me as a child, and realizing that that my beliefs, my understanding of Christ's love for me and for all of us is based in what I was trained so well at as a young child, and for many years.
Yeah,
it was just unequivocal. You know, I was just always reminded of how much Jesus loved me and how much God loved me, and it was never a question. And what a great gift to be given as a child.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I didn't realize it at the time. I was like, "Mom, stop it! Stop telling me." But it was never a debate in my house, in my family.
That is awesome. Welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, and we'd love to have you back on the show. Let's go to a hard break. Val Carolin is the regional VP and general manager of Salem Media Group here. And we are in the Phoenix Roaster studio here in Buckhead. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live. Stay right there.